Guys are ready.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of the Rockshar Show, starring
Charlotte
and Rock. Hi.
Your little crackhead hi is hilarious.
I don't do crack. I just like to have a friendly tone so people feel welcome, like they're in your home with us.
That's a good feeling, isn't it?
It is for me most of the time when I'm not, being abused. But whatever.
There you go. This week we're gonna talk about certain things that we haven't really decided on yet. But I do want to say this. I have an issue with men in the corporate world thinking that they can talk to somebody any which way.
Especially women.
Especially women. And they got the wrong one when it came to me. Let me give you a little brief story of what happened today in a meeting. Well, today we had a meeting, budget meeting. And there's a new guy in there. And, he's not speaking throughout the whole meeting. And so, because nobody knows him. And, whatever. He looks like the bad guy in Karate Kid. The blonde dude.
Oh, the real ugly one.
Yes.
I remember him.
He looks like that. Well, here's what happened, right? I'm giving my report on my projects as far as the financial piece thing, doing my due. And he's like, I said, let me double check with this one number with one of my managers. He comes out of nowhere, he says, did you check that number yet? And I looked at him and I was like, I'm sorry, who are you? I didn't even go proper on his ass. I was like, who are you? Don't try to check me in a room full of people. 1, 2, don't try to check me. 3, I don't know you. You just got invited to this party. Who the F is you? For real, for real. So I just gave him this look, and my boss's boss just looked at him and looked at me and started cracking up. I'm like, what the this motherfucker, right? I didn't curse, because, So I just looked at him as I said, who you? And didn't even wait for his answer, kept on talking. Then,
there's more?
There's more. He's like, I was giving a recount of how much money we're going to give back, because I do my job. Contrary to what it may seem like as if I'm always on Facebook.
Right, but I'm never on Facebook during work hours.
But I do my job, So I'm telling the great news. I was basically saving the department because I was able to give great recounts of how much money we're giving back. He's like, are you sure? Because what you're saying is that 50% of the project is not even done. I was like, first of all, the money that I'm giving back does not sum up to 50% of the total budget. 1, ding dong. 2, again, who is you?
Who is you? You had to go Medea on him real quick?
I had to go some sort of ear on him. I just looked at him, I was like, not only am I sure, but I've been doing this longer than you have. So, yeah.
Whoa.
I'm like, don't get it twisted. Just because I'm crazy and funny. I've been doing corporate finance for more than 12 years. I know my shit. Alright? So, you and your little blondie logs need to go somewhere else.
What you call them, blondie logs?
Corny ass jokes. That's why nobody was laughing at your jokes but your boss. That's all I have to say about that shit. If you're watching this, if you ever come at me again, and you know what, I felt like stopping him before we left at 6 o'clock today and be like, do me a favor, don't talk to me, don't question my work, and focus on your shit. Because your project does not seem to be doing so well, Papa.
There's a lot of idiots in the world.
It is true, and it's not the first time that I get that, especially in corporate worlds. It's like they look at a woman, they think that, here's my cup, can you fill it up? Fuck you.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of that.
So I pissed in it.
I don't even get the cup. But I'm gonna tell you, I had a similar experience actually today. In my office. I'm doing a deal with another agent, happens to be a guy who I know. And this guy supposedly is from New York City, has a real estate license from New York, and supposedly has done lots of deals in New York as a rental agent, as a sales agent. So I figured he knew
what he was doing.
We have a deal going on. where his client is getting seller assist, which you know what it is. So
Yes.
basically, it's a credit to help offset closing costs. I'm a real estate
Right.
agent. So it's a short sale negotiation. I'm letting him know that his client's going to get less seller assist because that's what the bank wants. He goes, so we're going to reduce the price, right? It's like, no, that doesn't reduce the price. And he goes, well, how much commission are you getting? Mind you, we're both getting paid the same commission. And I tell him, and I'm like, you know, it's a percentage of the sales price. He's like, off of the full sales price? I'm like, what else would it be?
So what, he's thinking the seller's assist is part of the sales price?
No, this was his idea. That our commission was going to be based what the seller gets after seller assist is deducted.
Why would that?
Now, I'm going to say this. Some agents make that a term of the sale.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a term of this sale. Mind you, I'm the listing agent, and I'm telling him, you're going to get paid off of the full price, not off of some other crazy calculation. And he didn't understand that. And I'm like, here's the kicker. He tells me, well, I've never gotten paid full price on the sale price when my client is getting seller assist. I'm like, that's your problem.
Somebody's not been doing their job.
But while I was explaining this to him, he was like cutting me off and saying, Raquel, I don't think you understand. I'm like, no, I understand because I'm the one getting paid. I'm the one selling this house. I'm the one negotiating the short sale that you don't know how to do.
Right.
I'm helping your client get a house that he wouldn't be able to get. I know what I'm doing.
Right.
And he kept interrupting. He interrupted me at least 2 times. He's
Oh,
like,
I hate that.
and then, this is the thing, I explained to him how it works, and he goes, well, you're explaining like the technical way. And I'm like, here was my response. Well, what other way is there?
But the technical way. Mofo?
I mean, numbers is numbers. It's kind of like what you do.
No.
1 plus 1 is 2, bro. It never ever changes.
Can you please preach that?
1 plus 1 is always 2, bruh. Never changes. Never changes. And, you know, but I find that this happens with men that are, people that are older than me as well. Because I've had this experience with people that are older, especially
The
women.
insecurities come through.
Yeah, where women have told me stuff like, they'll try to downplay me and say, well, let me tell you something, young lady. Or I had one chick a few years ago even called me a little girl. And I had to tell her.
And people that know Raquel know that there's nothing little about you.
I'm going to take that to mean that I'm an adult.
She is an adult.
But what I had to say to her, well, you know, which probably wasn't nice at the time, and I said, you know, at your age, everybody seems like a little girl. But I'm not. And my broker didn't like the fact that I said that, but, you know, I don't care.
It is what it is.
She never called me a little girl again, though. But, yeah, I don't know what it is with dudes, that somehow they think that for some reason.
Yeah, that's
that even though we have the same qualifications and do the same job, and in your case, you're doing more of a job than this.
Yeah, he doesn't have the qualifications that I have.
Yeah,
I mean, I was there when they interviewed him.
Yeah, they somehow think that women just don't have the skills. So I think that's kind of hilarious because then when you explain to them and they're like, you know, they say things like the thing I said, like, well, I guess in the technical sense.
No, what's funny is that, like, thereafter we had to, because, you know, our meeting ran from, like, noon to 6 o'clock, which to me is ridiculous. But at one point we had to break because they kicked us out of the conference room. To me, that should have been a sign.
Time to go.
Time to be out, right? But no, they wanted to continue. But anyway, we go to somebody's office, and we're having this meeting. This man is repeating everything that I'm repeating. I'm like, well, basically what you need to do is, yeah, basically, so you do that, and then shut up! Like, seriously, I wish I would have, shut the fuck up!
There are a lot of idiot men in the corporate world. It's just the way it is.
Then I get up to throw out something, and I just so happened to glance over to his laptop, which he had, hiding from everybody else. He's on a freaking car website.
Shopping for a vehicle that he can't afford.
I was just like, oh my gosh.
Typical dumb dude.
And I was having such a great day today because, you know, it feels good to pay bills. Sometimes.
And that's all we're going to say about that.
Sometimes it feels good to pay bills. I had paid a bill today. That was like
big bill.
A big bill. I was in
it's
heaven.
paid.
It's paid. Thank you, Lord.
But yeah, the idiotic dudes that we women have to work with.
You know, and I wonder, this is one thing that I always wonder, like when you see those guys, are they like that when they date? Or do they play it off like they're all about respecting a woman in a workplace and blah, 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 blah? Or they only date women that are below them intellectually and sometimes in the workplace, because they cannot handle dating a woman that perhaps can call them out on their shit.
Yeah, we know people like that.
Oh yeah.
They have the same characteristics of always want to try to call people out even though they don't know what they're talking about. And what do? Marry somebody that's just not quite as bright because that's what they can deal with.
But the funny thing is that they go out through the whole time saying how they want a woman that knows this, that knows that. This
Got her
and you know who
together.
Exactly. Oh, an intelligent woman that has a degree. You want a woman that has a degree, that makes money, but that's an idiot, or is not as smart as you are.
Right.
That's the kind of woman you want.
And what do? They marry the GED graduate or the GED recipient. But you know, to each his own. They love what they love.
Not that there's anything wrong with the GED.
What do you mean there's nothing wrong with the GED? Yes, there is. You never heard how Chris Rock explained it? You know what GED stands for?
What?
Good enough diploma. There is nothing right about having a GED. Nothing right about having a GED.
And that's Raquel's views. I think if you accomplish a GED and then go on to college and whatever, good for you.
Let's be serious. Let's be serious.
Listen, my professor in college, Victor Vasquez, got a GED.
How many other people you know like that, Sean? Besides him.
I know him,
and he's probably exceptional. He's probably really
and he has a
smart.
doctorate degree.
A real doctorate, or
yeah, no, real
not
doctorate.
like the kind of other people be.
No, not like Creflo Dollar. not like that.
Here's what I'm saying, though. I understand, but you know what? Mr. Vasquez is a very smart guy. He was going to achieve no matter what, whether or not he decided to go on higher education. But let's do a tally here.
Okay.
How many other people do you know that got their GED that went on to get
what?
Doctorate degrees? Dum, 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 dum. I'm gonna take a sip of wine while you think about that.
Yeah.
I've already had a sip. I'm gonna take that to mean nobody. Not to say that it can't be done, but let's be clear here.
It can be done, Raquel.
GED is not the greatest thing. You should be graduating high school. That's what you're supposed to do.
That is what you're supposed to do. Yes. I'm just saying.
God.
Then you can't take away from
She
it.
just always has to be PC. I don't get it. Can't you just say
PC? Look like on these shows. I'm
That's
far
true.
from PC.
But today, for some reason, you're like changing it. I don't know. No.
I like
GED
GED on your toes. I don't want you to get
GED stands for good enough diploma. It ain't good enough here. Would you date a guy that had a GED? Whoa, what's that? Whoa, Miss Liberal, who thinks it's okay as long as you go on and get a doctorate at Temple. You went no. Answer yes or no question. Would you date a guy with a GED?
What does he have after the GED?
I said GED. I didn't say GED plus doctorate. GED.
And how old is he?
Does it matter? At that point, he's probably 40. But what?
Wrong. Just wrong. Just wrong.
You still haven't answered the question. Would you date a guy with a GED?
I'll tell you right after I swallow this.
Dum, 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 dum. Don't be taking 20 minutes because we ain't got all that for the show. We got other things to talk about.
Probably not.
Wow. So,
but
it's all right for everybody else unless they want to.
No. That's not what I said. I haven't met a man with a GED.
That wasn't the question, though.
Oh, but let me tell you. Let me speak. I haven't met a man with a GED that I'm interested in.
That wasn't the question.
Like somebody like The Rock had a GED. Hell yeah.
First of all, neither one of us is ever going to get with a Rock type of person. So let's just be clear.
You speak for yourself.
No, honey. Be realistic. Come on back. Come on back. Maybe the wine is a little strong, but neither one of us is hitting The Rock. That's just not going to happen.
No, not yet. But
ever.
Whatever, Raquel. You're such a hater.
You already answered the question, though. The answer is no. And why is that?
Well, because my mom wouldn't accept it.
That sounds like a BS excuse.
Let's keep it. You know my mom. I walk in there, my mom, the first thing she's gonna ask, ¿estás casado? ¿Qué tú haces para trabajar? ¿Hasta qué llegaste tú en la escuela? And you know what? She probably had figured it out when he tells her what he does for a living.
Right, because by the way they speak, you can tell they don't have a high school diploma.
Be like, ¿qué tú haces qué? ¿Y por qué? Tú no te graduaste.
And so what you're saying is that you wouldn't date a GED guy because your mother wouldn't approve?
Yes.
What if he looks like The Rock?
Well, then she both and I will have to talk about it.